So I know it's been a little while since I've uploaded on the channel, and as I get back to the regular scheduled programming on Obi-Wan Studios, I thought I'd share some of the cool things that I saw on my trip to Seattle the other week that are Lego related. I went to my first Bricks Minifigs store ever, which as a Canadian was a pretty cool experience. I tried to film a little bit of a vlog standing outside of the store, but the road noise just proved to be too much where the audio in the clip wasn't that great. But I talked about how I wanted to go in there and some sets that I was hoping to find, and quite honestly, mainly the Lego Architecture Space Needle set I thought would be such a cool souvenir from my trip to hopefully find at this Bricks and Minifigs store. But unfortunately, the owner was actually telling me that they'd never gotten that set in ever since they'd been open, ironically. So that was one that I just could not find. But they had the Cloud City in there, which was just really cool to see because I've never seen that set in person before, built on display with my own eyes. And then right next to it, they had the Holiday X-Wing, which is one that I really want to add to my collection. So just getting to actually see what those sets look like built in person, I thought was a pretty cool moment. Inside of the store, they had some other sets, but nothing that really caught my eye as something that I wanted to bring back. However, for this Northgate's location opening, they did do kind of like the architecture skyline sets where they had a designer come in and actually create a limited run with all real Lego pieces and printed pieces even, I believe, of the Seattle skyline. They have Pike's Place Market, the Space Needle, the Great Wheel. It's just a really cool set, and they still had a couple left over, so I went and purchased this. I'm not sure if I'll ever actually build it, but keeping it sealed I think is just kind of a cool memory from the trip. I wasn't able to find the actual Space Needle, but this is something that's pretty cool as well. And they only made 100 of them from what I understand. It's numbered 94 mine out of 100, which is just kind of cool to actually see there. So that's certainly a cool memory from my trip. I went to the Space Needle, of course, with my girlfriend, and in the Space Needle itself in the gift store, as you're kind of walking up to actually go up the tower, you can look down into the gift shop, and they had a 14-foot tall model in Lego of the Space Needle, which was super cool as well. Had 55,000 pieces to it. It was just really insane as well to kind of walk up to the Space Needle, and then you look and the top of it's kind of level with you as you're walking kind of up the ramp along the outside, and then it's like, hey, that's built out of Lego. I thought that that was a pretty fun moment as well. So you guys will obviously be seeing some B-roll of that as well. I had to capture a little bit of it for you guys. But the real reason we went to Seattle, being very careful with this box, is to get this Lamborghini Countach set signed by James May from Top Gear and the Grand Tour. Top Gear is my favorite TV show of all time, and right before we were kind of road tripping as it was, it got announced that he was doing a meet and greet in Seattle for his James Gin company, and then it quickly turned into, all right, let's go and explore Seattle for a couple of days and I'll get to meet one of my childhood heroes. So with the signing, we got a couple bottles of gin signed, obviously, but I wanted to get him to sign something else. And quite quickly, I figured, well, he's also been a fan of Lego, and how cool would it be to get him to sign a car set? And, you know, hopefully make it something that's relevant to his time with Top Gear and the Grand Tour. And the Countach became one that I decided to go with because of the box being black. The signature should show up a little bit better on it. And he did do a review of the Countach, a road test of it, kind of a meet your hero sort of thing very early on in the Top Gear days, and even did one recently with Jay Leno's garage in a Countach. So I thought this would be kind of a very relevant set to James's time on the show and something that would be really cool. So I got to meet him. My girlfriend got some action shots of James actually signing the Countach, and he mentioned he has the 911, which he doesn't know where it is currently in the shop, but he's like, I've got it. I haven't built it yet either, but he wants to build it. And he did think this was pretty cool, and to have him actually personalize it for me and everything was just, it was such a, it was an incredible moment. It was otherworldly getting to meet someone like that. And now this, quite honestly, I think is my prized possession in my entire Lego collection because I've got it signed and personalized. Now, what I want to do is get some sort of acrylic display case for this set, and I've kind of sourced out a couple of different options. If you guys know of any that would just keep, because I want to keep it sealed, I want to keep it in as mint of condition as possible. I actually bought like 4 of these online because I couldn't find them in stores anywhere, and then I picked the best box and then returned the other ones. That's kind of the levels I was going to try and make sure it was the cleanest box possible, but now I want to get it behind an acrylic case and then have it somewhere displayed as well, but just that extra level of protection. So if you guys know of any good options, please leave them in the comments down below. But this was just an incredible moment. And now if you guys know Top Gear and the Grand Tour, if you haven't seen it, it's such an amazing show. But now kind of a goal of mine is to get Richard to sign one, maybe the Land Rover, to get Jeremy to sign one. I think that one would have to be the P1. That would be just amazing to have all three of them sign a Lego set. But this is now really my most prized possession in my Lego collection, the most prized piece out of my Lego collection now. It is so cool and it was just such an unbelievable moment. And besides ordering that acrylic case, which I really have to do for the Countach because right now it lives inside of the cardboard box that you get with the Lego sets, and that's what I carried it around in, plus other protection around it. So that's just sitting in there in storage until I get that case, but I want to have it protected and on display. I have to do that. And then as well, I just want to track down either on Bricklink, eBay, whatever, the Space Needle architecture set, but that's one I might just keep sealed as well because I don't think it looks that great being all gray, and the Space Needle, seeing it in person, it definitely has a little bit more color to it. So it's a cool set, but I don't think it is the best kind of representation of the Space Needle, but it's one I just want to have for my collection as well to look back on and remember the time I went up there and actually saw it, because it's a really fun and cool experience. But anyways, I just wanted to give you guys a little update to some cool things I saw, some cool kind of Lego related things that have been going on in my life. And then I'm going to get back to making reviews and other videos, mainly Lego Star Wars related as always. I'm especially excited for the new UCS Mando's N1 Starfighter. I think that looks absolutely crazy, and I'm personally a huge fan of it actually having chrome pieces along the front. I think that's accurate to what the N1 Starfighter looks like in at least, you know, the Mandalorian universe that we know it from. I think that's going to be a killer set, and then the Darksaber as well, I am super excited for, and I'll be doing reviews on all of those sets when they release, when I can actually go in store, buy them, and build them. So stay tuned for all of those videos on the channel. Thank you guys so much for the love and support as well. I just hit 5,000 subscribers while I was away on vacation, which was another really awesome moment. So I appreciate all of you guys, especially if you made it to just the end of this video, kind of more of an update video than anything. I appreciate you guys. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you on the next Lego video on Obi-Wan Studios.